You spill a little coffee on the counter, and you reach up and tear a sheet off the roll, and you wipe it, and it is soaked and gone in 2 seconds into the trash. And it did not quite get it all, so you tear another. And a bit ran down the cabinet, so you tear a third. And by the time that one small spill is cleaned up, there are 3 wet wads of paper in your trash can, and you did not think about it for a single second, because you do it 10 times a day, every day, without ever once thinking about it. It is just the roll. It is just paper towels. Everybody has them. And on Saturday, you are at the store, and you toss another big pack into the cart, $6, $7, $8, and you do not think about that either. It goes in next to the milk. It is just one of the things you buy. And you have been buying it, that same pack, every couple of weeks for your whole adult life. And you will keep buying it every couple of weeks until the day you die. And you have never once stopped to add it up. Now I want you to sit with this a moment, friend, because here is a thing that ought to bother you once you truly see it, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. That roll on your counter is the only thing in your whole kitchen that was designed on purpose to be bought, used for 2 seconds, and thrown in the garbage over and over and over, forever. It is not a tool. It is a subscription to trash. And your grandmother, who kept a cleaner kitchen than most of us will ever keep, did every single one of those jobs, every spill and every wipe and every dry. And she never bought a roll of it in her life, not once, and never spent a cent because she used a thing she already had in the house. And here is the part that really stings, and I will prove it to you before we are done. The cloth she used did not just save her the money. It did most of those jobs better than the paper you are paying for. You are spending good money every week of your life on a tool that is worse than the free one. That is the thing nobody tells you. So today, I am going to give you the swap. It costs about $5, or nothing at all if you know where to look. And it lasts 10 years, and it does the jobs better, and it will take $1 of paper towels off your grocery list forever. Honestly and plainly, including the 2 or 3 jobs where you should still keep a little paper around, because I will not tell you the pretty half and leave out the rest. Let me give you the honest math first, so you feel the size of it. A family that leans on paper towels spends something like $150 to $200 a year on them, and plenty of families spend more than double that. Over a lifetime, that comes to around $10,000 per person, torn off and thrown away one little wad at a time, and they cannot even be recycled because once they are wet and dirty, they are done, so nearly every one of them goes straight to the landfill. $10,000 a person into the trash for a thing your grandmother did for free. Not one part of the fix is difficult. It costs about $5. Any man or woman watching can set the whole of it up in 10 minutes and never buy another roll. I am Pastor Eli. I have kept a country parish and a country house for the better part of 40 years. And I grew up in a house where my grandmother kept a rag bag hanging on a nail by the kitchen door. And in that house, there was no such thing as a paper towel, and there was no such thing as a job that rag bag could not do. I did not understand what I was looking at then. I do now. Today I am going to give you the whole of it. 7 things. The $5 swap itself, the reversal about what paper towels really are, the one system that makes the switch actually stick when folks have tried and quit, the right cloth for the right job, the honest truth about the few jobs paper really does do better, how to keep the cloths clean so they are never nasty, and the last one, the old 3 lives of a cloth, which is the real reason $5 lasts 10 years. And it is a thing almost nobody knows anymore. The swap comes first because it is the thing the title promised you. One word before I go on. The old ways I keep, there is more of it than fits in any one video. I gathered the whole of it into a book, and you will find it at PastorEliWhitfield.com. It is called Waste Nothing, and it is a manual and not a sermon, with a real price on every material and an honest word on every limit. I will not mention it again. If you want it, you know where it is. Now let me give you the swap. The first thing, the $5 swap, is a stack of cotton cloths, and I am going to give you 3 ways to get them, from cheapest to free. The best bought option is a pack of plain cotton bar mops, which are the little ribbed white towels every restaurant kitchen and every barber has used for 100 years. A pack of a dozen runs you about $5 to $10 at a hardware store or a restaurant supply, and a dozen is more than a household needs. The second option is flour sack towels, thin, flat cotton, wonderful for glass and drying. And the third way costs you nothing at all, and it is what my grandmother did. You go to your closet and you find the bath towels gone thin and ragged, the t-shirts worn out, the flannel sheet with the hole in it, and you cut them into squares about the size of a sheet of paper, and there is your whole supply, for free, out of things you were about to throw away. Cotton, because cotton is thirsty and it launders hot, and it lasts for years. That stack of cloth is the swap. That is the whole shopping list, and you may not even need to shop. The second thing is the reversal, the truth about what a paper towel actually is, and I have half said it already, but I want you to have it plain. A paper towel is the worst kind of purchase there is. It is a thing you pay for, use one time for 2 seconds and throw away, and then pay for again, forever, with no end. You never own anything. You are renting the same 2 seconds of dry paper over and over for the rest of your life. And for that endless rent, you get a tool that is honestly not very good. Paper towel falls apart the moment it is truly wet, which is exactly when you need it. It leaves little bits of lint on your glass and your mirror. It tears. A good cotton cloth does none of that. It drinks up 10 times what the paper does. It does not fall apart. It does not lint. And when it is dirty, you wash it and it is ready to go again. So you have been paying a weekly fee your whole life for the weaker tool. The free one in your closet is the better one. The third thing is a system that makes it actually stick. And this is the most important thing I will tell you today, because I know that some of you have tried cloth before and drifted right back to the roll. And I know exactly why. And it was not your fault. It was that you swapped the towel, but you did not build the system. And without the system, it always falls apart. There are 3 simple parts, and you need all 3. First, a stack of clean cloths somewhere easy. And I mean easy, a little basket sitting right on the counter where the paper roll used to stand. So your hand reaches for cloth in the same spot, out of the same habit. Second, and this is the part everybody misses, a home for the dirty ones, a small bin or a bag or a hook under the sink or on the pantry door, so the used cloth has somewhere to go the instant you are done with it. The reason folks quit is that they used a cloth and then had nowhere to put it. So it sat balled up and sour on the counter, and it felt gross, and they gave up and bought the roll again. Give the dirty cloth a home, and that problem vanishes. And third, a wash day. You just toss the bin of them in with a load of towels once or twice a week. Clean stack in reach, dirty bin close by, wash day on the calendar. Set those 3 up and the switch holds for good. Let me pause here just a moment, friend. If these old ways are worth something to you, subscribe and walk along with me. I put out one of these every week and it costs you nothing. Now let me stop you right here, because we are turning a corner. Everything so far is the swap, the cloth and the system. What comes next is the part your grandmother knew that most folks have never heard. The graded cloths and the honest limits and the old 3 lives. The part that turns a handful of rags into 10 full years of never buying a roll. So stay with me. The fourth thing is the right cloth for the right job, because the old rag bag was not one kind of rag thrown in the bag. It was sorted, and each kind had its work. The thick terry cloth, your old bath towels cut down, those are your thirsty ones for spills and wiping down the counter and drying your hands, because they drink up the most. The thin, flat weave, the flour sack towels and old cotton sheets, those are for glass and mirrors and drying your dishes, because they leave no lint and no streak. And if you saw my video on cleaning glass with vinegar, a flat cotton cloth and that vinegar spray is the finest streak-free window wash there is. A rougher cloth, a bar mop, or a piece of old denim from a worn-out pair of jeans, That is for scrubbing and for the greasy jobs. And the soft old flannel, an old shirt or a worn pajama, that is for dusting and for polishing wood and silver, because it is gentle and it grabs the dust. One cloth does not do all jobs well. A sorted rag bag does every job better than any roll of paper ever could. The fifth thing is the honest word, the 2 or 3 jobs where paper really does earn its place. Because I have been hard on it, and I owe you the truth. There are a few jobs you do not want going into your cloth wash. Draining the grease off bacon, which you do not want soaking into a cloth you launder with your dish towels. Wiping up after raw chicken or raw meat, which carries what you truly do not want spread through the wash onto the cloth you will later dry a plate with. Cleaning up after a sick pet, or one genuinely vile job now and then. So here is the honest answer, and it is not all or nothing. Keep one small roll of paper towels tucked away in a low cupboard, out of sight and out of easy reach, just for those few nasty jobs. Or keep a few designated throwaway rags or a stack of old newspaper for the same. The cloth does 95 jobs out of 100 and does them better. You keep a little paper for the 5 you should not be washing. That is not failure. That is sense, and it is honest. And one small roll kept for the nasty jobs will last you the better part of a year. The 6th thing is how to keep the cloths clean, because I know the real objection sitting in the back of your mind. Are not dirty rags nasty? Are they not full of germs? And the honest answer is, not if you handle them right, and it is easy. The one rule that matters most, do not let a wet, dirty cloth sit balled up, because that is what turns sour and smells. When a cloth is damp, hang it over the edge of the sink or a hook to dry between uses, and a dry cloth does not stink and does not breed anything. Then wash them good and hot, and here is an old trick. Add a splash of plain white vinegar to the wash, which cuts the smell and strips out the greasy buildup and leaves them fresh. The same $2 jug that does a dozen other jobs. Keep the raw meat cloths in their own pile and wash them separate and hot. Do that, and a cloth washed hot is cleaner than the paper towel you just assumed was clean straight off the roll. Because that roll sat open in your kitchen collecting whatever floats through the air for weeks. And one word of care, a light one, the same as I gave in the video on keeping your tools. The one cloth you never toss straight into a hot dryer is one soaked in cooking oil or furniture polish or any oil, because oil and dryer heat together can start a fire. Those few you lay flat to dry hard first. Every other cloth, wash hot, dry, and back in the basket. And now the 7th, the one almost nobody knows anymore, and it is the real reason $5 lasts 10 years. It is the old system of the 3 lives of a cloth, and once you understand it, you will never throw a piece of cloth away the same way again. In my grandmother's house, no cloth was ever thrown out until it had lived 3 full lives. A bath towel began its first life as a bath towel for years. When it went thin and worn and you would not want it on your body anymore, it did not go in the trash. It was cut down and hemmed into kitchen cloths, and it began its second life, wiping counters and drying dishes for more years. And when those kitchen cloths finally went ragged and stained past using at the counter, they were demoted again into the third life. The cleaning rags and the scrubbing rags and the grease rags for the dirtiest jobs in the shed and the garage for years more. And only when a piece of cloth had given all 3 of its lives, bath, then kitchen, then filth, only then did it finally go. One good towel served a family for the better part of a decade before it was truly done. That is where the 10 years comes from, not a magic product. A single worn-out towel cut down and demoted through 3 lives, doing the work that would have cost you hundreds of dollars in paper and asking nothing but a wash. That is the whole secret, and it is the oldest secret there is. Now let me take a moment, because here is where it all comes together. Look at what we have walked through. The $5 swap, a stack of cotton cloths, bought for a few dollars or cut for free from the worn-out towels in your own closet. The reversal, that a paper towel is a subscription to trash, and the weaker tool besides. So you've been paying rent forever for something worse than the free thing. The system that makes it stick, a clean stack where the roll stood, a home for the dirty ones so they never sour on the counter, and a wash day. The sorted claws, terry for spills, flat weave for glass, rough for scrubbing, flannel for dusting, each to its work. The honest word, one small roll kept back for the few nasty jobs you should not wash. The washing, hot with a splash of vinegar, hung to dry so it never turns sour. And the old 3 lives, the towel demoted from bath to kitchen to filth over 10 long years, which is the whole of where $5 lasting a decade comes from. $5, a stack of cloth, and a grocery list with one thing gone from it forever. And now the small honest word about how a thing this plain got forgotten, and I do not say it to rile you up. There is no money in a rag bag. Nobody can build a business on a worn-out towel you cut up for free and use for 10 years. But there is a mountain of money in a thing you buy again every 2 weeks for your entire life and throw in the trash and never once stop to add up. In America alone, folks spend near $6 billion a year on paper towels for the home, half of all the paper towels bought on the whole earth. So the rag bag that hung on my grandmother's nail went quiet, and the roll came in and took its place on the counter. And a whole country was taught to pay rent forever on a thing their grandmothers did for free, and to call it convenience and never notice the trade. The good book has a moment that speaks to this straight. After the Lord had fed the great crowd with the loaves and the fishes, and everyone had eaten their fill, he told his disciples a curious thing. "Gather up the fragments that remain," he said, "that nothing be lost. Nothing be lost." Here was the one man who could make bread out of nothing, who had just fed thousands from a boy's small lunch, and even he would not have the leftover scraps wasted. "Gather them up," he said, "that nothing be lost." There is the whole spirit of the rag bag and of the old way of keeping a house in that one line. It is not stinginess and it is not poverty. It is a holy respect for what you have been given, a refusal to treat any good thing as garbage while it still has use left in it. Waste nothing. It is written right there in the oldest book we have, and it was the rule my grandmother lived by with a pair of scissors and a nail by the door. So here is what I want you to do this week. Go to your closet and find one worn-out bath towel and cut it into a dozen squares, and there is your supply for free. Set a little basket of them right where your paper towel roll stands now. Put a small bin or a bag under the sink for the dirty ones. Tuck your paper roll away in a low cupboard for the few nasty jobs only. And the next time you are at the store, walk right past the paper towels and feel how strange and good it is to not put them in the cart. Do that, and you will have taken a thing off your grocery list that you will never need to put back for the rest of your life. Now tell me in the comments below, did your mother or your grandmother keep a rag bag, and where did she hang it and what was in it? And what is the one job you are sure a cloth cannot do, so I can tell you whether the old folks had an answer for it? Tell me. And tell me your state. For the old ways of keeping a house looked a little different in different corners of this country, and I like to map them by where you all write from. I read every single one. Next time, since we have been talking of cloth and of washing it, I'm going to show you how the old folks made their own washing powder for pennies, a plain homemade soap for the laundry that got everything clean for a tiny fraction of what a jug of the store kind costs, out of 2 or 3 cheap things you can buy anywhere. It is the natural next step after today, and I hope you will walk it with me. Until then, look well to what you have been given. Waste nothing, and God bless.